Things to keep you safe, whether you're traveling or staying home from fall break.
This being like tenfold the best job I've ever had, it was just, I might as well like share it, I guess.
We look at how one Greek life chef is making waves on TikTok.
And I think there's nothing more like bearing the torch than that.
Learning more about how some students spend their break giving back to the local communities. And how one UT group burns off steam by swimming in the Tennessee River. Starting with breaking news, we are in day 3 of the government shutdown. So what does this mean for students? Well, I sat down with John Stavick, an assistant professor of budgeting and finance at the Baker School, about how the shutdown could impact you.
What is the government shutdown? What even is this?
The basics of a shutdown is, it all goes back to the Constitution. The Constitution doesn't specify when the budget has to be passed or what the consequences are for not passing it. Other than that, there's a shutdown. So right now, there's zero legal authority from Congress enacted into law to spend money off the U.S. Treasury, out of the U.S. Treasury.
This happened the last time Trump was in office. How often does something like this tend to happen?
It's not that frequent. So that was the last shutdown. The thing is that what is frequent is that we kind of teeter on the edge of a shutdown, but it doesn't happen because some agreement happens at 11:59 p.m.
What exactly is quote unquote shut down in the sense?
Probably the most pronounced consequence of the shutdown is that federal workers don't get paid because there's no legal authority to pay them.
You know, I grew up watching my mom get furloughed, and so I'm really concerned about federal workers who are going to be now without a paycheck or without work for however long the shutdown lasts.
So basically, the federal government is operating on credit right now in hopes that the budget gets passed and then they can settle their outstanding liabilities. It's not like the entire federal government just completely ceases operation.
Right.
They are continuing to work in anticipation of being paid perhaps late, depending on when it ends.
Medicare, Medicaid, and SNAP benefits will not be affected. These funds are what Stavick called to be on autopilot. Now, the full interview with Professor Stavick will be published on our YouTube page later today. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at TVC News Now to stay up to date as more information comes out. Bringing you continuing coverage on safety this semester, TVC is following the KPD investigation of the man reported to be following women to their homes in the Fort Sanders area. Now, this is exclusive footage of the suspect approaching a home that's privately owned in the Fort Sanders area about a few weeks ago. If you have any information related to this investigation, please contact East Tennessee Valley Crime Stoppers. You can do so anonymously at 865-215-7165. Our Caitlin Kirkpatrick is live reporting on campus with ways to stay safe over the break, whether you're traveling or staying home. Caitlin?
With students leaving for fall break, they're going out of town, heading back home, safety should still be top of mind, especially in the Fort Sanders area.
The streets in the Fort Sanders area are usually filled with students walking to class or headed downtown. But when fall break hits, the neighborhood starts to look a little emptier. And for many students, that's a big concern.
I really like it overall. It can get a little spooky sometimes because of the unhoused population in Knoxville. Sometimes they hang out a lot around here, but it's usually all fine, but sometimes things will get a little rowdy.
Fort Sanders is one of the most active off-campus neighborhoods near the University of Tennessee, but that doesn't always mean it's safe, especially during breaks. UTPD Officer Robinson says being aware of your surroundings is one of the most important things you can do to keep yourself safe.
Just being aware of your surroundings, reducing risk by taking safer routes, staying on well-lit routes, having a buddy system, having a plan whenever you're going out. We advise not only students to do that, but also faculty and staff.
It's advice students at Tennessee say they're already taking seriously and taking steps further to keep their valuables and cars safe.
So I'm making sure that I take everything out of it, I lock it, it's in its parking spot, so hopefully it should be fine, but that's all you really can do is just lock your car and take your keys.
UT police recommend using resources like the Safe at UT app. and reporting anything suspicious. Officers say the key to staying safe is staying proactive, whether you're on the road or sticking around in Knoxville.
So if you're leaving for fall break, don't forget to double check your locks, keep your valuables out of plain sight, and talk with your neighbors, and always be aware of your surroundings. Back to you, Grayson.
Thank you, Caitlin. Really want to emphasize that UT Safety app. We've been talking about that quite a bit this semester. Moving on, a lot of people are traveling for the fall breaks. We're going to bring in our Assistant Chief Weather Specialist, Jackson Berg. He's here to give us your forecast for some of those popular fall break destinations.
Yeah, that's right, Grayson. Let's take a look. For our Vols who might be traveling home, maybe staying in Tennessee, we can look at Memphis. Looking all week, pretty sunny beginning of the weekend, highs in the mid 80s, but by Monday and Tuesday looking to creep some scattered showers will creep in, and that's actually going to go for Nashville as well, kind of seeing that similar pattern as Memphis with some storms moving in Tuesday. If you're headed out of state, we can look at Myrtle Beach, where today and Saturday is looking actually pretty nice, but it's also pretty windy. That's due to the hurricanes that were actually in the Atlantic earlier this week, Imelda and Umberto. And now finally looking at Tallahassee, Florida, if we're looking, panhandle region of Florida, if you're heading down there. Beginning of the week, actually all weekend looking pretty rainy. High temperatures, mid 80s. Sunday looking at about 60% chance of rain, and then moving down 50% chance on Friday and a 30% chance on Tuesday. But I'll be back later in the show to give you the forecast for our Vols staying in Knoxville this weekend. But for now, back to you, Grayson.
Thank you, Jackson. Now, traffic might be a concern if you are one of those students leaving campus. Today, we're getting a look at the road. We're going to go ahead and take a live look right here at Alcoa Highway and Cumberland Avenue. It's looking pretty smooth right now. Earlier, we were seeing some roadblocks go through there, but moving smooth, moving quickly. Doesn't seem like there's any bumps going on right now, which is pretty exciting. Now, for those of you who are staying on campus, you can expect some traffic around that Food City Center area throughout the day as they prepare for the circus that's coming to town. Now, the Jones Center for Leadership and Service provides immersive community outreach trips called Vol Breaks. Today, we have TVC's Whitney Reamer for the very first time in studio to talk to us more about the upcoming trips.
Yeah, Grayson, I got to go to the Jones Center for Leadership and Service to learn more about the awesome opportunities Vol Breaks are providing for students. Vol Breaks is truly embodying the volunteer spirit. These students are spending their fall breaks serving various communities in the surrounding states. Now, on the first floor of the Student Union, you will find the Jones Center for Leadership and Service, where students are preparing for the upcoming Vol Break trips in many different communities, including Alabama, North Carolina, and Nashville. They'll be focusing on sustainability and food access, as well as disaster relief.
They could be spending their fall break to go on vacation, to spend time with family, and they are really choosing to go into different communities to work side by side with local nonprofits to positively impact society.
Now, if this piques your interest, there will be another round of trips over spring break. While locations are still being determined for spring break, you can go to leadserve.utk.edu to learn more. For now, I'm going to send it back to Grayson at the desk.
Thanks, Whitney. Love having her in our studio. Now, it is time to fill out your free application for federal student aid, also known as FAFSA, for the next school year. You can expect some changes to the form this year. Our managing editor, Kyla Berry, has answers about the changes as she joins us live outside of Hodges Library. Kyla?
Grayson, the application opened on Wednesday. Now, that's nearly 2 months earlier than last year. As you're filling out this application, you're going to notice some changes. I have answers from the University of Tennessee's Financial Aid Office, and they tell me what these changes are.
I mean, to definitely get a little stressed out when I hear the word FAFSA.
Logan Barstow is a part of the 94% of first-year students at the University of Tennessee who receive financial aid.
Being an out-of-state student, so financial aid is pretty important for me being able to be here.
The business analytics student says last year the application was tricky.
Yeah, it's a little confusing, especially because a lot of it's like the first time you're being interacted with a lot of these tax documents. Mostly your parents just fill it out.
Next year's FAFSA application opened October 1st, and changes are on the way for the form. Now, these changes all come after Congress passed the big, beautiful bill proposed by President Donald Trump. The chief financial aid administrator at the university, Curleen Inglis, says these changes make it easier for students and families.
The FAFSA has now an instant verification when a parent or student creates their new student aid account.
It is easier for students to add a contributor to the form.
Now, all they have to do is put an email address in, and that parent or contributor will receive a code, and they can pick up where that student left off to complete the FAFSA.
The administration is doing away with the Grad Plus loans program and putting a cap on how much students can borrow, capping undergraduate parent loans to $20,000 and graduate loans at $20,500. With these upcoming changes, the university says they want to help navigate the process.
And we will have more information later on, targeted for parents and targeted for students to really understand those changes so they understand what they're applying for.
Students need to make sure they fill out their FAFSA on March 2nd to meet the priority deadline. And as you're going throughout the process, if you have any questions, you can always visit One Stop. That's going to be located right behind me on floor 1 in Hodges Library. Sending it back to you, Grayson.
Thank you, Kyla. Now, as midterms are quickly approaching, students are looking for academic support to help them on their exams. Luckily, the Vol Study Center is here to help. Now, located in Strong Hall, the Vol Study Center offers a variety of resources to the UT students, including study sessions with peer learning assistance, free printing services, and a quiet study service. The center's Associate Director, Kit Tisdale, shared that students who have used the center's facilities have seen up to a full letter grade increase than those who don't.
The Academic Success Center is full of staff that are here for two purposes, and that is to keep academic dreams alive and to keep the well-being of our students.
The center staff consists of 85 peer learning assistants who are ready to help students with any questions they may have as midterms approach. Be sure to check out all that the Vol Study Center has to offer on Academic Success website, and good luck on your midterms. WUOT is the NPR affiliate station owned by the University of Tennessee, and our very own Eric Gomez-Villa is getting a closer look.
WUOT 91.9 FM.
WUOT is an editorially independent NPR radio station based on UTK's campus. WUOT's general manager, Jody Hamblett, talks about the station's goals.
Our goal is to always serve the community of East Tennessee. Our signal reaches 20 counties, so we have quite a broad area that we cover. Our local news department tries to cover issues that are relevant to the communities, like Hurricane Helene. We were out in the field and we're still covering it a year later.
WUOT's communication and marketing intern, Grace Aldridge, talks about her love of storytelling.
I think that being able to combine my love for social media and radio is something really special. I love journalism and I have a passion for storytelling and being able to express myself through social media.
It's really our job to reflect the community and also shine a light on areas of the community that mainstream media may not cover.
It has been really amazing to be able to tell other people's stories through social media. I'm so grateful to be a part of WOT. It is such an amazing community that really cares about their community.
There are places in East Tennessee that are news deserts, so we are really poised to be able to serve those communities and serve them well.
For TVC, this is Eric Gomez-Villa.
Website drive. If you want to support the station, you can become a member for just $10 a month at WOT.org/donate. Now we've got someone else going viral on campus. It's a chef at the Sigma Chi frat house. Our Alexa Dervin spoke to Grant Grosskos, who turns out to be self-taught. Let's take a look.
Cooking, baking, and having fun in a frat kitchen.
As long as it's doable here, it's something new every day, which is just like, that's exactly what I need.
It's what Chef Grant Grosskos loves to do.
It's kind of cool to be in the frat house where we feed 250 people for lunch.
From working in a bakery now for the Brothers of Sigma Chi.
He came in and everyone like automatically gravitated towards what he was making because it was really good.
It's literally the best job I've ever had.
He also showcases what he does on TikTok, where his videos have become sizzling hot.
The first one that I ever did here that went like really viral, it had like, I think now it has like 6 million views or something like that, but it just like took off immediately.
Social media has played more than one role in his career, as it's also what helped him learn to cook.
I never went to culinary school. I like taught myself basically all of this, but then worked in kitchens since I've been 16.
He originally came to UT to study medicine.
It's the perfect mix between science and cooking. And that was just like, that's my whole brain. That's why I wanted to do medicine, was I always wanted to like kind of serve somebody in that way.
Not only is being a chef at a fraternity house about making memories, but it's about inspiring others.
Once a week, somebody will say that like I inspired them to go into cooking.
Feeding frat brothers and feeding minds.
It's a labor of love.
At the Sigma Chi House at UT, I'm Alexa Durbin, Vol News.
He's leading the way here on campus and for the TikTok community. To follow along with all the fun, you can follow the chef on TikTok at Baking by Grant. Now, for those of you who can't make your way to the Sigma Chi frat house for some of that amazing cooking, you might have noticed some major changes to the dining locations near Vol Hall. Southern Kitchen, one of 3 dining halls on campus, has a completely new look. Changes to the space include open windows, a brighter color scheme, and the completely new furniture. According to Vol Dining, this was done not only to liven up the space, but to make it more welcoming to students and guests, as part of the larger initiative to improve the dining experience on campus.
It's just making sure that we're able to provide a comfortable space with ample seating, great food, great vibes, great experience all around for all the students.
Southern Kitchen is not the only place on campus that looks different this year. To learn more about all the changes, you can go to Vol Dining and visit that Vol Dining at utk.edu. Coming up, we're going to take a look at the football season, how it's been going since we're hitting that halfway point, and a look inside to the newest student opportunity in the Media Center.
La esperanza ha sido parte de mi recuperación porque a veces era lo único que tenía. Fue solamente cuando entré en recuperación que quizás recordé mis pasiones, pero creo que lo más importante es en la manera de que la vida puede comenzar nuevamente.
We are the Tennessee Volunteers. People who create connections, push boundaries, do the research that changes lives. We've got world-class academics and championship athletics. To be the best, you gotta learn from the best. And if you wanna lead, you gotta light the way. We've got what it takes. It takes a volunteer.
Welcome back to Vol News. It's time for the Rocky Top Sports Report, where I'm joined by Kylie Atchison in the studio. Kylie.
Thanks, Grayson. Welcome back to the Rocky Top Sports Report. I'm Kylie Atchison. Let's get into it. There is a new way to watch Tennessee club sports on campus. Tennessee Club Sports Network gives you a new way to catch some of your favorite sports. From hockey to lacrosse, President and co-founder Charlie Serafian wanted to give students a new way to enjoy and to be involved.
The main purpose of this thing is to really train students, to really get them familiar with getting that first sort of experience doing broadcasting.
Stay on the lookout and tune into the Tennessee Club Sports Network to get all of the sports you love. Now, it was a close call for the Vols last weekend in Starkville. A back-and-forth battle saw 4 total turnovers, with the Vols returning 2 of those 4 for touchdowns after a pick-6 by Colton Hood and a scoop and score from Joshua Josephs. The true standouts were wide receivers Chris Brazel and Mike Matthews. Brazel had 6 catches for 105 yards and a touchdown. Matthews accompanied Brazel with 6 catches for 118 yards. A real 1-2 punch for the Vols as they took home the win 41-34 in overtime. And with that win, we have hit the midpoint season of the Tennessee season, so let's take a look back at how we got here. The Vols started the season in Atlanta with a neutral site game against Syracuse. In our first look at this Joey Aguilar-led team, the Vols took home a big win 45-26, with Aguilar throwing for 247 yards and 3 touchdowns. They then headed back home to Knoxville, where they faced ETSU. It looked like the offense had found their stride with a dominant 72-12 win. Then came the first true test of the season in the Georgia Bulldogs. A promising first quarter had the Vols ahead 17-7. Georgia fought back, and the Vols found themselves tied heading into overtime after the missed field goal heard around the world. Unfortunately, the Vols were not able to seal the win and lost 44-41. The next week, however, the Vols bounced back with a 56-24 win over UAB. And after a Mississippi State win this weekend, the Vols find themselves ranked number 15 in the AP poll, 4-1 coming off a bye week and heading into Neyland to face the Arkansas Razorbacks. To say the least, it's been an eventful first 6 weeks here on Rocky Top. Let's take a look around the rest of Big Orange Country. Regal Soccer Stadium saw SEC action last night. The 5th-ranked Lady Vols took down the 17th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs 2-0. This gave Tennessee its 9th shutout win of the season and improved their conference record to 4-1. The team heads to Oxford, Mississippi this weekend for a Sunday afternoon match against the Ole Miss Rebels. Volleyball rested this weekend before their first SEC road trip of the season. They head down to Baton Rouge first to take on the Tigers. Then it's over to Austin for their first big test of the season against the number 2 ranked Longhorns. They then come off the road trip with a game against Ole Miss in Oxford. Softball returned to the Diamond for the first time since their semifinal exit at the College World Series. The first of 8 fall ball games took place last Saturday, where the Vols dominated Roane State 32-0. They now turn their attention to a busy weekend, facing Carson Newman tonight and ETSU tomorrow. That wraps up our Rocky Top Sports Report for this week. Back to you, Grayson.
Lots of things happening here on Rocky Top. I'm definitely glad that it is fall break and that we don't have to go through another, I guess, heart-palpitating football game yet again. So coming up, UT Student Life hosted a pre-release screening of Chad Powers, produced by one of the most famous UT alumni, that Peyton Manning, CCI alum too. We love that. Stay tuned to hear what students thought about that release.
A ripple of hope that transforms communities far and wide. And when we grant wishes together, we create a movement of kindness, strength, and unity. Become a wishmaker today and be part of a journey that truly changes lives.
Since 1888, the
Welcome back. I'm Jackson Berg, and we're going to take a look at the fall forecast if you're staying in Knoxville over fall break. We should be expecting sunny skies and warm temperatures for most of the break. Today, temperatures will reach nearly 80, and throughout the weekend, hanging around those lower 80s. Over Friday night, we'll see a chilly low of the mid-50s, but that low is only going to increase throughout the weekend to the mid-60s that we will see over Sunday and Monday evenings. Now Sunday night into Monday, we might start to see some scattered showers, and that will stick around through Monday and Tuesday, with a high chance of some storms coming through our area Tuesday afternoon. So make sure if you're planning on hiking or getting outdoors this weekend in Knoxville, you do that before Monday, because then the weather will not be favoring outdoor activities, and it will start to feel a lot more like fall after this fall break. That is all I have for you today. I will send it back to you, Grayson.
All of that fall weather. This is going to be a good little weekend, good little refresh before we come right back and have football all over again. Now, the spotlight was shining bright this past weekend as contestants from across the city competed for the title of Miss Knoxville. After an evening of gowns, talent, and interviews, one winner stood out. The crown belongs to Megan Gadsden, a UT grad student who's representing both her alma mater and the city she calls home.
The state of North Carolina, but I think it means so much more that I'm able to represent a city within the state of Tennessee, because it is my chosen home. It's where I made the decision to come to college, but also build a life for myself here, which is incredible.
Miss Knoxville will move on to compete for the Miss Tennessee title later this year, but until then, she says she's proud to carry the Big Orange spirit with her wherever she goes. The University of Tennessee, in collaboration with Hudson Alpha and Auburn University, has been named a finalist in the National Science Foundation's Regional Innovative Engineers Program for the Bridges proposal. Bit of a mouthful there. Bio-based rural innovation for domestic growth and economic security, also known as Bridges. The focus of creating a circular bioeconomy in the southeastern states occurs through converting perennial grasses into products for packaging, construction, and automotive material industries. Now, the director for the Renewable Carbon, Nikki Labe, is one of the co-principal investigators for the project, and she says that this proposal affects everyone.
Everybody is part of it, and we need everybody to make it happen. So everybody has a role, because at the end of the day, we're trying to find, again, a sustainable solution for the well-being of a society.
If the Bridges proposal is named a winner, they will be granted up to $160 million in funding over the next 10 years. Winners will be announced early 2026. Yesterday, a group of swimmers swam their last swim across the Tennessee River for the last time this season. They have met every Thursday of every summer for about the past 8 years. Now, these swimmers are also triathletes, so definitely not the easiest thing in the world. Lana Burrell is one of the organizers who serves as a triathlete coach herself through her own business called LB Endurance. Our Aubrey Kern was able to go to Suttree Landing Park yesterday and tell us more.
So this is our traditional Thursday night swim with the Knoxville Open Water Swimmers.
When triathlete Lana Burrell started LB Endurance Swim Labs, she had the goal of growing a Knoxville triathlete community in mind.
Still not quite, I wouldn't call us beginner friendly, but we still get some intermediate swimmers that are learning how to, grow their open water skills.
But for triathletes, a traditional Thursday night swim might look a little less.
You get what the river gives you.
Traditional.
And you either figure it out or you don't.
Usually we go like a mile out and back. Typically, it's like an hour.
But it takes a team to pull off a successful river swim.
So we share the river with other boats, you can see. So fishing boats, UT crew, and they don't always look for swimmers in the water.
It's important to have paddlers out here to kind of make sure everybody's safe, so we try to contribute as much as we can.
Come on, Ty, come on. Today I'm just volunteering as the dock watcher. Make sure that bags don't grow legs.
And maybe a little moral support along the way.
Swim, go swim. Catch up, go. You can save her. Okay, there's a lot of stuff in the river.
Swimmers are great people, and it's just a fun group of, sort of fun, sort of crazy people that like to swim in the river.
Besides, who said triathlon training couldn't be fun anyway?
I mean, we wouldn't do this if it wasn't fun. We wouldn't do it if we didn't have really cool people to do it with. So, yeah, for sure.
In Knoxville, I'm Aubrey Kern, TVC News.
Again, that was their last time swimming, which is why the swimmers had those unicorn floaties on there. They're playing a couple games to end out this season. River swimming is not for beginners, which is why the group emphasized safety. They say they're excited to do it all again next swimming season. On Monday night, looked a little bit different this week on UT's campus, especially that football. And looking at UT student life, with the Center for Student Engagement and the Student Union hosted a pre-release screening of Chad Powers. The comedy series stars Glenn Powell as quarterback at the fictional South Georgia University. Students attended the special screening, were provided game day style foods like chicken nuggets and mac and cheese, and were entered into a merchandise giveaway. Although freshman Sebastian Latofu did not know what to expect from this series, he found himself laughing at the jokes and enjoyed the event's gridiron-inspired environment.
I didn't really know it was made by the alumni. I just came by to, watch it. And it was a really funny show.
Chad Powers, created by Powell and Michael Waldron and produced executive by Eli and, of course, UT alumni Peyton and Manning. Episodes 1 and 2 are now streaming out on Hulu. That's all the time we have for you today. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at TVC News Now, and be sure to check out for TVC Plus for some of those additional stories by some of our junior reporters. I'm Grayson Thatcher. Have a safe fall break, and, of course, go Vols.